All right, in this video, we are in Tulum, Mexico, baby. So let's go ahead and get ready to get price gouges down here in Tulum. We're doing a full day tour of Chichen Itza in the Yucatan Peninsula. I'm about to get my pockets raided by these Mexicans. So Tulum is probably one of the biggest tourist traps in all of Central America. Every time I come down here, I'm like, it costs more money down here in Mexico than it costs in America. So let's see how badly I'm going to get price gouged today on this trip to Mexico. I'm trying to stay underneath $200 for the day. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Let's see how much money they hit my pockets up for today. Okay, I will say, out here in Tulum, Mexico, these hotels they throwing up look nice. Like this condominium place that I'm at, I got me an Airbnb. It was like $40 a night, and you be looking around and be telling yourself like, wow, it looks so nice here. Guess what? No hot water, no heat inside of my room. We are here in the dead of winter, so it is like cold at nighttime. We in Tulum, Mexico. It was like in the 50s last night, so still out here freezing to death, but in luxury. Freezing to death, but in style. Hopefully, I can get them to switch me to a different unit that actually has some heat running around or something. Okay, so thanks to the news in America, like most Americans, or at least a lot of Americans, especially in small towns, think they're going to come down to Mexico and they're going to get robbed and kidnapped by the cartel. But you don't have to get robbed by them because you're going to get robbed by these taxis out here in Tulum and Cancun, and these people selling tours. These are the real people pillaging and stealing. Okay, so I got up at about 5:30 a.m. this morning, but I normally like to get up early, so getting up early for like a tour ain't no issue for me. If you've been out late drinking or whatnot, you might have some problems getting up this early and hit one of these tours in the morning. It's 7:40 a.m. right now. My taxi is out in front of the hotel. I'm about to go ahead and jump in and head on over to our pickup meeting spot. Okay, so back in Atlanta, when I left town, it was like 17 degrees, and we're down at Tulum in the first week of February, and it's still cold out here. I think it's in the high 50s. It's gonna get up to like the mid 70s today. I just thought, in Mexico, I wouldn't be freezing to death. I flew all the way down here, 3 hours, and I'm still freezing. Hopefully it can get a little bit warmer today. Okay, so we are here at Super Aquí. I think it's a grocery store. This is at like the entrance to Tulum if you come down from Cancun. Every time I come down to Tulum, I'm like, I'm back in this dusty city where they have like new development thrown up all over the place, new buildings, investors, developers throwing up new hotels, luxury resorts all over the place. But like the locals there are like still in like abject poverty compared to what most Americans would probably think. A lot of people just living here in like 10 houses with no electricity and no water. So it's just such a stark contrast between these like fake luxury looking places and people here just living on $7 a day, which I think is the minimum wage in Mexico. So I'm gonna be out here probably in some of the sketchiest parts of town later filming. But honestly, Tulum is safe every time I've been here. I think my sister said she was just down there. She got robbed by the police for like $200. So I need to look as broke as possible while I'm out here. I need to put on some cheaper looking clothes or something. Take off this leather jacket. I'm just waiting for it to warm up a little bit. Okay, our tour to Chichen Itza starts in front of this grocery store, so I thought I would just run inside and just grab some food here for breakfast before we go ahead and get on the road. I think it's like a 2.5-hour ride to get out to Chichen Itza. Then we're stopping at some little town, and then we're going to a cenote. So I'm gonna definitely need some calories because I think they only have one meal for this like 12-hour long tour. Even the taxi driver, I told him, he was like, how long is your tour? I was like, I think it's like 10 hours. He was like, no, he said, dulce. He was like, dulce horas. So we're gonna be out here for 12 hours today, most likely. Y'all have not been to Mexico, then y'all do not know how much they love Coke in Mexico. I know they say Catholic is the religion in Mexico, but it's probably more like Coca-Cola is the religion down here. Like they don't even sell Cokes this big in the United States. These are freaking 3 liters of Coke that they're selling down here. They make the 2 liters look small. I have not seen a 3 liter of Coke in all my days in the U.S. And it's cheaper. The Coke down here, it tastes better, and it costs less money than the United States. I feel like Coca-Cola in Atlanta is doing at least half of their sales globally just from the freaking Mexican market. Over here, some more Coca-Cola over here. I've never even seen these before. What is this? Yo, Coca-Cola's got freaking alcohol. I have never seen this before. What is this? Yo, it's literally rum and Coca-Cola in a can. Insane. Daniels and Coke in a bottle? Ain't no way. Okay, we just got done talking to the nice old ladies inside the grocery store, and we got for breakfast we grabbed some chocolate muffins and some Powerade. It was like $9 for for this stuff. But the tour that I booked at Chichen Itza was through my Airbnb. I hit up my host, was like, hey, you know somebody that can take me to Chichen Itza? And they said they got a tour company they work with. They sent me a link to pay, so I paid this money, and I got like no idea like how to contact this tour company. They just told me to show up at this place at 8:30 a.m. So hopefully a bus magically appears that has adventure tours on it, so I can go ahead and jump in. I'm supposed to be here in about 8 or 9 minutes. I'm gonna see if they showed up early. Let me see if I can hunt this bus down so I can actually get to this tour that I paid $140 to go on. Our bus for Chichen Itza is right here. The guy I checked in with, he said he's got the exact same camera as me. Hopefully, I don't know what's gonna happen today, but it's gonna be a long tour. He said all day, 12 hours, 10 hours, I don't know how long it's gonna be, but definitely gonna be all day. The bus is behind me. We're gonna be packed in there like some sardines on this ride over there. But yep, can't complain for the price. Okay, we just hopped off the bus. This is our first stop in this city called Valladolid. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure. So they said there used to be a Mayan temple here, but they said it was destroyed. They said it was the same size as Chichen Itza, but they knocked it down and they built a colonial town because when they first got here, when the Europeans first got here, they said that people were worshiping Kukulkan, who looked like a demon, which I could see the Catholic Christian people come from Europe over here, seeing Kukulkan, a god that's imaged after like a serpent with snake sounds that could fly around, being viewed as demonic and satanic back in the 1600s. So they abolished this whole city and built up a colonial town here instead. I'm gonna run inside this old church and check it out on the inside. I think my mom was complaining I'm not going to church enough, so we better step inside of here, go ahead and get my mom off my back for not going into church enough. I'm sorry, you guys. I love a nice old building. I love these nice old buildings. This place is massive. Yo, these ceilings in here, easily at least 80, maybe 100 feet high on the inside, not even including the dome. But yeah, the building looked tall on the front, but even inside it's like even more scale and more size on the inside as well. Okay, so we just got out the church. Normally when I go places like this, they have a plaque or like board or something with details about the building. But inside of here, they didn't have details about nothing. Just this massive, absolutely massive church here in the middle of town, easily the biggest building in this whole city by a lot. And like no info, no nothing. I'm gonna do a circle around the building to see if I can find any type of information whatsoever. But like I said, this building is extremely old. This building is probably older than America. Man, yo, the people in my tour group are so nice. I walked in here to use the bathroom, but the bathroom ain't free. Like I said, in Mexico, they charge a money for everything. It's like $1 to use the bathroom. And some people from my tour group just gave me 16 pesos, so I don't have to hold my bladder for like 16 hours today. I bless those people. I'm gonna have to buy them something, because all I got is credit card and debit, no cash, because I didn't want to pay that like $10 fee for using the ATM while I was in Tulum. Hey, disculpe, how do you say the name of this city? It's
Valladolid.
Valladolid?
Valladolid.
Valladolid? Okay. What's his name? Kukulkan. I saw him in a movie. Okay, so we just got done with the cenote. I want to tell y'all real quick about the church. So that church, I had to go on my phone and look up the history of the church, but that church was constructed in 1545. And the original church was destroyed. They said a politician got murdered inside the church, so that was enough reason for them to destroy the original church, and they rebuilt the church in, I believe, 1705. So, yeah, America was established in 1776, so the church is about like 71 years older than the United States. I could tell just from the outside of the building that this church is definitely close to 400 or 500 years old. Okay, and then next, right outside the city, we stopped at this cenote to go swing real fast. They gave us a little presentation we got here, and they try to upsell us some Mayan birth certificates, and then at the cenote, people trying to upsell with pictures and whatnot. I ain't got nothing against the locals trying to make a little bit of extra cash here and there, but the cenote was very nice. I always love so many cenotes. I know the last video series I did, I was like, I was complaining about how I don't like the beach. I feel like the beach, you go to a beach someplace, they got beaches all over the world. Any continent you go to, they got beaches everywhere. But I'll say Mexico, in this part of the world, is like the only place that has cenotes here. So this is like something you can only come and do in Mexico. So, and then yeah, I'm happy we stopped here because the ride to Chichen Itza so far, I think we still have to go another hour to get to Chichen Itza. We've already been driving on the bus for like 2 hours. But I know at least another hour to get at least to Chichen Itza. And then I hope we don't go straight back from Chichen Itza back to Tulum, because it's going to be a very long drive, probably like 2.5 hours, if I had to guess. But I did not even look at the schedule. I just know we're going to stop in that city with the church and then stop at a cenote, which we've done both of those so far. So I guess we're going to jump into the next activity. So the bus we are on is not that big. We are like crammed onto this bus, but luckily they put me in shotgun. I'm sitting in the front. I got plenty of leg room. My knees would have definitely been hurting if I had to sit in the back of the bus with everybody else. I was like, thank goodness to my tour guide for hooking a brother up.
They're gonna welcome you like burning incense. It's a way to let you know that we honor your visit. It's like a way to let you know that that we appreciate that you are here.
Okay, they just tried for about a good hour, 30 minutes to get us to buy some souvenirs. But ain't nobody buy nothing. Ain't nobody buy nothing.
Never mention this is the most important. Why? Because with the silver tequila.
Okay, so right now they're doing they're doing tequila tasting in the background right now. Never a chance to miss an upsell on here in Mexico. What did I say this morning? I was like, we're gonna go on this tour. They're gonna upsell and try to get as much money out of you as possible down here in Mexico. But like I said, no problem for me. I don't drink, so. And then I thought we would have been at Chichen Itza by now. We've been gone for about like 4 hours. Still haven't even seen Chichen Itza. So, I mean, it's cool that they got enough stuff to preoccupy you for the whole day, mainly because that drive to Chichen Itza is like 2.5, like 3 hours from Tulum. So, needs something in there to just like cut that time up. But so many activities. This is the second cenote we've been through. This is the third stop we've been through. And they're going to do 5 different tequilas that they're going to be tasting out here until we have lunch, which I don't even know what time lunch is going to be at. I think on the website it said 10 hours for this tour, but the taxi driver was like, don't say, he was like more like 12, and I guess 12 is what it's about to be. Okay, so we just had lunch. They had a buffet. I think I had chilaquiles. I don't even know what I ate. Here's like a video of the food that I had. Had mashed potatoes and spaghetti. It wasn't the traditional Mexicano food that I was anticipating, but tasted good nonetheless. I really don't like tacos, so they had like a whole like taco area, but I don't like eating tacos. They got a cenote here. So we're gonna go jump in this cenote, second cenote of the day. I had to pay 100 pesos to come over here, which is cool. And let's go ahead and have some more fun. Okay, so like I said, we are at the second cenote of the day. And this was not even part of the tour. We are here for lunch for 45 minutes. But I was like, hey, we got 45 minutes. That's enough time for me to swim. That's enough time for me to eat. Even just walking into the cenote, the steps going coming down here look pretty cool themselves. I'm excited to see what the actual cenote looks like on the inside. They said you can stand up in the middle of this one and walk around. So we're about to be doing that in a few seconds. Although this one was not included, they charged me money, but it was not that much. I paid 100 pesos extra to come down here, and I'm probably not going to come back to this spot in this lifetime. So I was like, let me go ahead and let's check it out. And I mean, even this entrance, like, look at this. You see this? Look at this. Like, carved out from the the rocks. I think I even see a waterfall in there. Oh, I do. Wow. Wow. Okay, we are here at the cenote. This one looks even cooler than the other one. Like, look at this. Wow. It's so tall. Oh my goodness. You just look straight up into the forest and then back down here into the water. I like that. That is amazing. Amazing. I love it. Sensational. Oh, and there's a cave. I don't feel like getting wet, but there's a cave over here. We might walk around a little bit. Oh, and fish. Okay. So I checked the reviews. You can see the fish like just swimming around in there. Okay, that's tough. Okay, so like I said, this is the second cenote that we are at. I'm on a tour right now. Like, nobody else from the tour group wanted to come down here for whatever reason, but I'm down here right now. Everybody else is out having lunch for like 45 minutes. I was like, yo, I don't need to have no lunch for 45 minutes. I can have lunch anywhere, but I can only come to the cenotes in Mexico. So I slid down to the cenote. Happy I did. This one is even cooler than the first one we went to. They have a cave. I would love to jump in the water and swim to the cave, but I didn't even bring my towel or no nothing because the tour guide said we weren't here to swim. We were just here to basically get sold a bunch of random upsells. They tried selling us tequila. They tried selling us souvenirs. Just trying to get us to spend. They want all of our money. They want all of it. All the money. I'm like, don't they know it's like inflation out here? I'm in poverty. I can barely afford this tour, let alone a bunch of upsells. Okay, I think that wraps it up for our little walk around of this cenote. I think we had Chichican is which one this one is. We are still 1 hour away from Chichen Itza. So I got to get back on that bus and ride for an hour across Mexico. And I forgot my AirPods. I got to just sit there in silence. Actually, it's not silence because the tour guide is actually like teaching us about the culture and the history while we're riding the bus. So that's cool. I learned that we are like the fifth people. They said there was like 4 generations of people in the culture with, I think they're Mayans. Learned about Kukulkan. He showed us some like Mayan paper and their like writing system and about the different stuff. So back to the action. Okay, well, like I said, that was an unexpected, incredible experience. I'm like, this is the reason I'm out traveling. I want to go on an adventure. I want to see the unexpected, and that was definitely unexpected for like 30 minutes. I'm like, it's crazy. They did not even think to put that on the actual itinerary for the trip. Crazy. What am I paying this money for? I'm not paying it to get upsold freaking tequila and rocks and other random jewelry ain't nobody even buying. I came for the experience, and I'm getting it. I'm getting it one way or another. Okay, so we've been on this tour for like 5 hours, and we are still not even within an hour of Chichen Itza, I believe. So I think we're probably gonna go straight there. I'm expecting when we pull up for there to just be tour buses everywhere. Every single stop we've been to, there's been like a bunch of just tour buses everywhere, like massive tour buses. Like, look at the size of that bus. Look at the size of these buses over there. Just buses everywhere. Okay, so we just finished the tour with the tour guide. We get an hour for the tour, and now we get an hour to just walk around Chichen Itza and do whatever. I didn't even think I was gonna be able to get inside. To get in, they charged me a fee for the camera. It was 62 pesos or 63 pesos for the camera to bring this inside. And then I had a microphone on me, a tiny like DJI, like mic mini thing. They said I couldn't bring it in, so I had to leave it at the front with security. So I gotta get that when I leave in an hour from now. But yeah, man, my back is still hurting. After that last trip, my back was hurting. I need to start doing some yoga, go see a chiropractor or something. I had to sit down immediately once the tour guide got done with his part. But yeah, lots of stuff to walk around here and check out. Okay, so once again, I'm at a spot where it's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. So, Chichen Itza, there's lots of old things to look at around here. Right now, I'm walking by the sacrifice temple. On this side, on the other side, they got an entire, I was going to say sports stadium, but I don't want to be disrespectful to the culture here, because it has nothing to do with sports. The activity that they did there was a ceremony, like ritual type thing. Like I said, nothing to do with sports. It just, they had a ball, they had people running around, so it seems like modern day sports, but I think they said it goes back 3000 BC, so thousands of years ago they were doing this. So maybe sports is something that's themed after rituals and ceremonies. But like I said, over here, the sacrificial temple. We're gonna walk around, check out all this stuff, and hopefully be on time and get back on the bus. Like I said, once again, you cannot go anywhere without people trying to get you to buy stuff. There's probably at least 200 booths set up out here to get you to try to buy extra stuff while you're here at Chichen Itza. And I don't blame them. If you're gonna price gouge people on one spot, you might as well do it in the spot where all the tourism is at. Probably the biggest tourist trap in Mexico, from what I can see. Okay, so once again, I walked around the corner and there's like a massive amounts of other stuff you wouldn't even see if I didn't like just randomly walk over here. There's like so much more over here. Here, let me turn this around. You see all this? So much. Word. Okay, so during the tour, they said all the Mayans are from Siberia. So this whole time, all y'all Mexicans been Russian. I had no idea y'all was Russian. Здравствуйте. Очень приятно. Как вас зовут? Okay, so right now we're in like a 1,000-year-old sports stadium. And I thought when I was watching those movies growing up as a kid, the little hoop thing, these hoops are super high. They say when they play the game, they can't use their hands, they can't use their chest. They said some of the balls they use for these rituals were like 20 pounds. I asked the tour guide, I was like, how do they even make these balls? And they said they got sap from trees and boiled the sap. And it turned into like a rubber, and they just kept on doing that over and over again to make the ball bigger and bigger and bigger. So those balls are just like a giant thing of chewing gum, I guess. But cool, I think they said teams of 7 players on a team. And these hoops, those hoops are very high. They look like they're like probably 20 feet in the air if I had to guess.